You are watching On Demand. Please do not try to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Hello and welcome to the last Loose Women of the Week. Joining me, Kay Adams. Some fabulous Friday fun, hot topics and strong opinions are Frankie Bridge, Carol Suggs McGiffin and Sunetra Sarkar. Coming up, how far would you go for a friend? We'll be taking the ultimate friendship test live on air a bit later. And I'm certainly a bit nervous about that. And it's all kicking off already on the new series of Married at First Sight.
What I do, I am a performer. / stripper.
Are you actually?
I am.
Ooh, we're asking if it's okay to judge a partner on their job, whether they're a stripper, an account, or a footballer, Frankie. And you'll know him from EastEnders and Doc Martin, but now actor Joe Absalom has taken on an entirely different role behind bars. He'll be telling us about his new play, plus how he really feels about Doc Martin coming to an end. So there we go.
I need to bring this up because I was absolutely fuming that I was not here for the big reveal that you're on Strictly this year.
Well, where were you? Where did you see it? Did you see it like on social media or something?
Yeah, I saw it online and I was like, no, wait, you are literally the last person I would have expected to do it.
Well, you could tell from our reactions that that's what we all thought. We all thought, there's no way it's Kay.
And she had such a good poker face. She really kept us guessing till the last second.
It was
We now
brilliant.
know you're a good liar. Good.
Well, I've always been honest about that, to be fair. But why was it such a surprise?
I don't know,
Young Francesca?
I don't know. You know what? I don't actually know why. I think because you always make out and you always like, you know, you always call yourself Nana and stuff like that.
You started calling me Nana. I don't want to be called Nana.
You started it and I continued it.
You started it.
Let that be known. And I don't know, but I think you'll be great. Kate keeps texting me and being like, what am I doing? Why have I done this? And I'm like, you're great. She's been practicing the Charleston.
Yeah, really.
She's got the swivel. I never had the swivel.
Amazing.
She's great in a high pair of heels. She did that little spin on the little thing that's online.
And she will be good at it because she has to be really good at everything she does, right?
Exactly.
That's true, isn't it?
Tell me the bit of it. I love the piece of advice that you gave me this morning. Carol and I met for breakfast this morning at 8 o'clock and she said to me, one thing I'm telling you is...
Don't be yourself.
The worst advice ever.
Well, no, I mean, everyone says, oh, just be yourself. But I said to Kate, don't be yourself. You've got to, like, get this persona going where you're not... Because you have, like, a persona of seriousness. And this is probably why we were all so shocked.
Maybe.
Because you are a serious person and a serious journalist.
I just don't really
right?
see her as a serious person. I don't take you seriously.
You don't take anyone seriously.
No. You are true, though, because you do have to play a character, don't you?
Yeah.
You do have to. If you went out there and you felt like Kay, who's mum and, you know, all of those things, you're not going to be able to go out there and do the dance routines that you need to do or wear the clothes that you need to do.
Oh my just have to have a little you have a plan of how you're going to mentally prepare yourself. Because for me, I found that the hour before we went live, I had to go and lock myself in my room alone.
I thought you were going to say go to the toilet.
and that. There was a lot of that. But once you're zipped up,
you can't.
once you're sewn into those outfits, go to the toilet before you put your outfit on. Is tip number one, definitely. But two was I did need 10 minutes to just center myself and have a little chat and to just calm down, like a little meditation app or something. Just have something that gets you a little
or
bit...
a drink.
Well, you're not really allowed. That was a big rule.
Well, have a little bottle, a little water bottle. Oh, I love this water. And have Negroni in it or something
But
like
also,
that.
the other thing is, you know, when everyone's up on the thing,
podium,
whatever it is, where everyone waits until they go
on
on for their dance, because obviously at the beginning there's loads of you. When you're near the end of the show, you have got a really long time to sit there and think about your routine. And at first, you know, you've got loads of energy and you're psyched up, and then you start getting a bit tired, then you start overthinking things. And so I think the best thing, what I always did was when I could, I would kind of go off backstage with Kevin and just run through the dance routine again, just really slowly, so that, because before every live show I'd go, I've forgotten the first step, I've forgotten the first move.
She was like, I've forgotten everything.
I've forgotten it. So you have to like
really
run through
excited.
it.
Yeah. It's really calming my nerves. Thanks, girls. Love you.
No.
How old were you when you? Not how old were you? How long ago was it?
It was 2014.
All
when
right,
we
so
did
you
it.
were in your early 20s. You know,
Yes.
looking like you do
Yeah.
with all of your training. Surely you went out and thought, I am the.
No, and I think that's my biggest regret. Whenever I've watched any of my routines back or seen any pictures, like even that picture that just went up there, I just remember how self-conscious I felt. I made them make all my costumes longer. I found the Latin dance routines really exposing, because when you're in ballroom, you're in hold, so you have someone with you.
Yeah.
But when you're in Latin, you're let go and you've got to look confident and you've got to look like, you think you're sexy. And I just found that so difficult. But I could
Hey,
take
you
it.
can do that easily.
Yeah.
No, but I find that so interesting, from a female point of view, because
Yes.
I'm totally, beating myself up thinking, God, I'm too old. I wish I was young. I wish I was gorgeous. I wish I was confident. And then I look at you, who were
And you
doing
think,
it.
I'm the same. I think you would have
young and gorgeous.
nailed
I
that.
would have thought that you would be out there saying, this is it.
But I think the pressure was on a bit from being in a girl band. Is I was meant to be really good, and like the truth is, I'd never done anything like that before. So I feel like at least you're kind of. No one's going to expect, in the nicest way, anything from you. So if you go out there, but all I would say, my biggest bit of advice is just throw everything into it and enjoy it. Because when I watch everything back, I'm disappointed in myself because I was overthinking everything, and I wish I'd have just enjoyed it how I should have.
That's very good advice, Frank.
It is.
so
I'm not taking advice from you.
Don't
unless
take it from me.
Actually, Suggs is going to run me through the bag of trousers routine a bit later.
Shut up about
Anyway, because I'm a very serious person, let's talk about outgoing Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who's found himself in hot water again after a clumsy comment yesterday about kettles while making a speech about investing in nuclear power. If you haven't seen it, this is what he said.
If you have an old kettle that takes ages to boil, it may cost you £20 to replace it. But if you get a new one, you'll save £10 a year for every year on your £10 a year every year on your electricity bill.
So that has been shown everywhere, on a loop, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Can I just say before you start, when I hadn't seen it and when we spoke about it, I thought that he'd just said it off the cuff, but he was actually reading that. So he'd planned to say that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to believe this, but I'm going to stick up for him here.
Well, now I've seen everything.
Not only is she doing Strictly, but she's also sticking up for us. What next, Kay?
Well, do you know what? No, I'm not going to stick up for Boris Johnson, but I am going to kind of try and stick up for journalism a little bit, in that I was so disappointed to see that clip go everywhere, because he expressed it very clumsily. But in context, actually, what he was talking about is that he feels, and not everyone agrees, that we need to invest heavily in nuclear energy because we have an energy crisis, nuclear power. And he was trying to say it's going to cost a lot of money at the beginning, but it will reap dividends as time goes on. And he was using that not very great analogy of you invest in a new kettle that's very energy efficient and it will save you money as you go along. So...
Which makes sense, yes.
Which kind of makes sense. So I do get what he was saying, but clearly we're now in the stage that he's gone, isn't he? And the media is just...
That's the point.
So you're annoyed at the media more than...
Well, I think it's a shame for journalism, because I think we should be better than that.
But the journalists
I think we should be better than that.
hacked off with him, pardon the pun, but they really are. They're not going to help him out anymore. So there was a time, I think, where the journalists or the media were probably going to be trying to unpick some of those... clumsy moments, but he's got such previous
maybe it's not about them sticking up for him, though. It's about them actually writing about the stuff that people need to be reading about.
Exactly.
And that's the energy crisis and how we're going to solve it.
Exactly.
Because people don't understand it. People don't understand how bad it is and things like that. So they're not trying to help us more.
I agree with all of that, but I think it's a little bit too late to be doing that. It's 10 years before we get a new nuclear power station. It's 10 years down the line. What's going to happen in the next 10 years? Mm-hmm. And also, you can't just stand up there and just say exactly this is what you need to do. This is why we're going to do things. It's like it's all too late. The journalists are creating a story for people to talk about because they're just distracting people from all the other things that are going on. It's a massive distraction. Everyone's talking about the kettle now. Everyone's talking about the kettle. Like, that's already said. You know,
we do need to talk about the fact that energy is not going to be as plentiful or as cheap in the future for a considerable period of time. And we are probably going to have to change our behaviours. And we have become accustomed to, and I'm separating this from the cost of living crisis because I know that there's people who are really struggling and making really difficult decisions. So I'm not in any way minimising that. But for a lot of other people, we've got used to putting a washing on every other day, wash it all. I mean, my kids will do it. They'll come with a T-shirt or whatever. It's got a tiny little stain on it and they'll want to put it in the washing machine for like a single wash. And I'll say, well, no, we can't do that anymore. We can't do that anymore.
How did you do that anyway? I mean, this is what I don't understand. I do not understand this wastefulness when it comes to resources. And I've always been like that, not just now, not just because there's a crisis. It goes right through me when someone just runs a tap or goes in the shower for an hour.
I'm probably one of those people. I used to brush my teeth with the tap running because I felt like it was part of the routine. Maybe it was as
everybody does. Everyone did.
But
I don't think we were. I think we always felt, or we were kind of always led to believe that resources would last forever.
Endless, exactly.
Yeah, but I don't remember ever being taught or ever being told that things would run out. Like, in my head as a kid, water's water. It's always going to be there.
Like,
it's going to run out.
Well, my kids are now learning differently. You know, they are learning about recycling. They're learning, like, my son tells me to turn the tap off when I'm cleaning my teeth.
Really?
He'll pick up rubbish outside. He is aware. So they are being taught that now. So I think, although we all know that there is a crisis, I think it's hard to change habits of a lifetime for some generations because they weren't aware of that. They don't understand
it. If you're brought up with not much and you really know how to make things last a long time, and that goes for everything, water, soap powder, all of those things. And so you don't waste it. And I must have learnt that from when I was really, really young. Yeah. And I've never changed.
And it is separating the sort of current crisis to real long-term change because we are going to have long-term change. Plenty more to come on today's show when we ask if you'd get a lodger to help around the house and whether you'd be happy for your grown-up child to date a stripper. And we're chatting friendships in just a minute, but here's a question for you. In a recent survey, what percentage of Brits said that they would give up a kidney to help out a bestie in need? Was it 40%, 60% or 80%? We're revealing all right after this. Welcome back. Later on, we're asking if you'd move a handyman in to help out with jobs around the house, or whether no sniggering please at the back, or whether you would consider getting a lodger just for someone to keep you company. Something that Frankie would consider. Watch out, Wayne. And Doc Martens Joe Absalom will be here at 1:15 telling us what to expect from the new series and how the show has changed his life in the most unexpected ways. But it's competition time now, and there's not only £60,000 up for grabs, but a chance to be mortgage or rent-free for a whole year too. Kate Lawler has all the details.
Welcome to my humble abode. I wish I lived on this houseboat. This is the Royal Escape Windsor. Not a bad place to live. And I'm here to tell you about an amazing prize that could see your next 12 months sorted. Hiya.
It starts with £60,000, totally tax-free cash. Ka-ching! Yours to spend however you like.
Not only that, we'll cover your mortgage or rent for 12 months up to the value of £18,000. Plus, we'll cover your gas, electricity and water bills for a whole year. James owns this houseboat. Hello, James.
Hi.
What's it like to live on the water?
It's fantastic. It's peaceful, quiet, and Windsor's a great town to live in.
And imagine your mortgage is paid off for an entire year. What would you do with all that extra cash in your bank account?
I'd buy another boat.
You really don't want to miss out on the chance of winning 60 grand, having your mortgage or rent covered and your bills paid.
So what are you waiting for? Stop swanning about and get those entries in.
For your chance to win, text WIN to 86060. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website. Entries cost £2. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY35, PO Box 7558, Derby, DE10MQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 23rd of September at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Now, as the Beatles sang, I get by, a little help from my friends, but just how much help would you actually be willing to give yours? After a recent poll found some pretty surprising results of just how far we'd go to help a friend in need. We are going to be taking the ultimate friendship test. And it's a good thing, Frankie, to stay silent when the anchor's speaking as a friend.
When was I talking? Oh my God. It's all right, you can have a kid there, all right? It's all right. God, I'll just leave now.
Stop telling her off.
You turned into a 6-year-old child there. That was hilarious.
Oh my God. Okay, carry on while I cry and I'll be back.
Calm down. That was supposed to be a joke. It was one of my serious jokes.
Died to death, that one.
It did.
Right.
It was boing. Are you ready for the friendship test?
Yes, I am.
You are.
But you've already failed.
I'm a great friend.
Sorry, Frankie, sorry. Right, would you jump out, put your hands up, would you jump out of a plane to bail someone out?
Absolutely not.
None of us.
How would
How
do you bail someone out by jumping out of a plane? That's a bit...
Well, that's what it said. Well, you know, when they were asked this question, 60% of Brits said that they would.
Oh, shut up. What are you gaining? I don't get it.
It's not Mission Impossible.
Answer a call in the middle of the night.
My phone's always on silent, though.
Oh, Carol.
It depends who it is. I'll check who it was first.
I'll be honest,
What if
I
it
won't
was
be
me,
calling
Carol?
Carol at midnight because I know she won't answer.
Let your friends live with you for free.
No.
I've had loads of friends.
Oh, I
live
don't
with
know.
me.
I don't know. It
You don't know?
depends.
Jury's out. Carol, you're a definite no?
No, it's not for free. Just no. I don't want my friends
Just
living
doesn't want
with
to make
me.
there.
Just no. Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm too old for all that.
Well, apparently
Well, love it.
68% of Brits would. Yeah. Pay a friend's mortgage.
No way!
I have no
If
laugh.
you were in a situation where you were largely,
Comfortable.
yes, and they were and in a situation and I could help, I would.
What, you'd
Right,
pay the
okay.
whole mortgage off? You wouldn't
It
just
depends
say...
how much it is, Sinatra.
I
We haven't
mean-
gone into real, like...
Good
No,
to
it wasn't-
know.
it wasn't
It's good to know.
Pay to say
Frankie.
pay it off. That's
I
the
think-
competition.
No, but also I think
Kate
if they
said
were like, going to pay
just
you
pay
back.
the mortgage, yeah.
Yeah.
The monthly payments, I think. But
Yeah,
still
pay a
no.
friend's mortgage. Yeah, so it might not be the whole thing off. It might be like for a couple of months. 31% said that they
Right.
would. And then the biggie is, would you give up a kidney? We asked people actually before, and 60%, I think, said that they would.
I would.
You would.
Yeah.
You would?
I think I'd be really nervous and I wouldn't go into it lightly. I'd find out all the information and I'd be scared, but I don't think I could physically sit and watch a friend die if I knew I could have done something to help.
Yeah.
But I think unless you're in the situation, it's very
Yeah,
hard.
I think
Yeah,
would-
you don't know what you'd do. You can say you would, but you might not.
Well, I'm in a situation where I've got a couple of friends who have got incurable illnesses, and it's really sad because we're all the same age and we're all trying to find new cures and new solutions and new alternatives to try and extend whatever their prognosis is. And I have put myself in this question and thought, if giving a kidney would save either of them, would I? And I just know I would. I just know I would. So actually, when you say you don't know until you're in the situation, I feel like I'm closer to knowing that because I'm really thinking, yeah, no, I definitely think I would.
But,
Yeah.
it kind of sounds like that because I wouldn't. It's making me out like I'm a bad person because
course,
I
I get
wouldn't.
what you're saying.
But I don't want to, and I wouldn't. I mean, I don't think people should put pressure on other people to do things like that. And I'll tell you what, if I were sick as well and someone offered me their kidney, I'd probably say no. I wouldn't want the responsibility of taking it from someone because what if their second kidney or the only kidney they're left with then fails? And then
I'd
what?
struggle to
I
say
know
yes to
someone in
one.
that
How rough would you feel about that? So no, I don't think it's a
Yeah,
thing
I mean,
would
it's
do.
funny. I mean, looking at all of these, and it's amazing how many people say, yeah, they would jump out of a plane, they'd pay the mortgage or whatever. I think it's really difficult unless you're actually in that situation. But I think the nice thing about all of these results are that people really value their friends and they really want to help their friends. And if they could help their friends,
Well,
it
I
makes sense
do,
to help
but
them.
I
know you
do.
do.
I'm
I
a
know.
good friend. I'm really a good friend.
Yes, you are.
Of course not. It's not, this isn't a competition. I don't
give good advice, but I'm a good friend.
I think everybody's got their ways of showing where their strengths in friendship are.
Well,
and it doesn't have to be giving a kidney necessarily.
It doesn't have to be
'cause
jumping out of a
you've
plane or anything like that.
I mean, if any of my friends jumped out of a plane for me, I'd be like, well, that was stupid.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
All right, I'll take my goggles off then. Tracy says, my bestie lent me money to get a divorce. I'd happily lend her money or give her a kidney. But I do like Charlotte's as well, which is, yes, I would give my best friend a kidney, but I wouldn't lend her a tenner. There you go.
Right.
Lots more to come after the break when we discuss the pros and cons of moving in a stranger to help with the cost of living. Pro, they can help around the house. Con, they might have really bad taste in television. And would you be happy to date a stripper, or would it all depend on whether they were Magic Mike or Tragic Mike? Find out what we think after this. Welcome back to Friday's Loose Women alongside me, Kay Adams. It's Frankie Bridge, Carol McGiffin and Sunetra Sarkar. Actor duo Absalom joined us at 1:15. He'll be sharing some soap memories on his days on Albert Square 25 years ago. Oh, God. Wow. Including why he owes a big thanks to our Nadia. Hope you're watching today, Nads. Now, the new series of Married at First Sight UK, which I know she's certainly been watching because she's obsessed with it, has begun. And as ever, the reality show isn't exactly going without a hitch. Last night, bride Jess was in for a surprise when her new husband, PJ, revealed his unconventional career choice.
What I do, I am a performer / stripper.
No, you're not.
I am.
Are you actually?
I am.
I want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore.
You don't want to be with him?
No.
Why?
Because he's a stripper and he lives at home with his mum.
That's his job?
Yeah.
Where is that ambition?
That's what I mean. And everyone's going to laugh at me at home.
Oh, so it bothers her because she thinks that she'll be humiliated or something because she's married to a stripper. Would you be humiliated if you're married to a stripper?
I don't think.
No.
I don't think.
Be delighted.
Show them, girls. Show them. Come on. Show the girls.
No, I'm not. No, not me. No, I mean,
for me, I think he
I
needs
bet
to
you
be
can.
good at his job. If he's good at his job, that's the tick.
Yeah.
That's attractive. When you see, whoever, your partner, boyfriend, husband, doing what they do well, that is what the plus point is for me.
Isn't a stripper? I mean, just take your clothes off.
Well,
What's
not
a good
really.
stripper? What's a bad stripper?
There is a good. Come on. I mean, as an actor,
same end result.
I have been out with guys who I've gone to see on stage.
Now it's getting juicy.
And all you're thinking is, please be good, please be good, please don't be a terrible actor on stage and nobody wants it.
You're talking about acting.
Do you get what I'm saying? And so therefore the good and
stripper.
bad version of what you want is to see someone being very good at what they do. Now, for me, the stripping isn't the problem. It's more like, what was the ambition of... Because a male stripper is very different from a female stripper in our perceptions of them. So what was he hoping to achieve by being a male
The other
stripper?
thing is, how much is a person their job? I mean, there's lots of people do jobs that they absolutely hate, that they're pretty average at, not because they're not capable, but just they're doing it to pay the rent or whatever. I mean, can't we separate the person from the job? I mean, I know you've said before that initially when, you met Wayne, the fact that he was a footballer was a big deal for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think, again, that was perception. For me, it was like, oh, pop star marries a footballer. And I was just like, I felt like I was just such a cliche. But I think what I liked about it was that he was, he had to be professional and he was passionate about it and he was good at it. And I find that attractive, especially, when someone's telling you about something and you can tell they love it and you learn something new about it. And obviously I liked watching him running around the pitch in his shorts. It looked great. But I think the thing with the stripper thing is, I think initially... I think someone's job, maybe initially when I meet them, I wouldn't like, or I might judge them on it. But then once you get to know someone, I think the thing there is that he lives at home with his mum. But then equally, you could say, well, he couldn't get a job and he knew he needed to earn money. So that's what he went to do. So at least he's
resourceful.
Yeah, he's using what he's got, and he's making an effort to earn.
I don't think I'd ever judge anyone for what they do ever, because a job's a job, as far as I'm concerned. But just thinking back there, I remember when I met my first husband. I remember thinking I was more attracted to him because he was so good at what he did. And he was a DJ, a sort of DJ. And I just remember thinking, blimey. And I sort of overlooked the everything else that normally I wouldn't go for, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. I can't say it out loud, obviously, but there were lots of things about him that normally...
I think we get it.
You're being unusually discreet.
Well, no, I know, because it's a bit mean.
But you're saying the fact that he's so good at his job...
The fact that he was so good at what he did made me, like, you know, actually fancy it.
Which is
now
really...
I look at him and go...
But that's turning around this whole thing in that she was put off by his job and didn't see the person, whereas you can be turned on by the job and not see the person.
I think her thing was more,
not know the person.
Her thing was more what other people were going to think. And I think I would, you know, if you're meeting someone, you're going for dinner or you're introducing your new partner to a room full of people, you might feel comfortable with it. But it's a job that for some reason people do have an issue with. And I think like how I used to feel about saying, oh, yeah, he's a footballer, just saying those words. I knew what people's brains were going to think instantly. And I hated that. And I knew once they met him, they'd love him. And I've never met anyone that's met Wayne and doesn't like him.
No, you're right.
So it could be the same with him. Do you know what I mean? But people instantly have that thing.
But I mean, that says a lot
she's
about...
already married to him. So.
The relationship, doesn't it? You have to be confident of a relationship to think, well, okay.
I'm not placing any bets on these guys making it.
I wouldn't say you're wrong. Now, unless you are particularly skilled with a toolbox, you're probably one of many putting a variety of odd jobs that need doing in your household off. Well, if so, you might like the sound of a new scheme. This is one that pairs people with a spare room with a live-in handy lodger who, you know, mows the grass, clears the drains, takes the bins out, you know, that kind of thing. You've got a kind of communal living situation, haven't you? Sort of.
I feel like the similarity between that. If my mother and father-in-law are watching, they'll be like, "All right, thanks, Frank."
No, I don't mean that. You know what I mean?
No.
But everyone pitching in is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, they're amazing, and they do. You know, like Wayne's dad's always out in the garden doing things, and his mum helps us with the kids and stuff around the house, and. It is, I suppose, it is slightly like that in that we all live together and they do odd jobs, but also I do enjoy having their company. Like, obviously, we all go off and do our own things, but there are some days where I'm actually really pleased that there's another person there to talk to or to sound things off of, and just having that. I quite like a busy house. Ooh. So for me, I enjoy that. Yeah. But the thing about this is I get it because there's always stuff that needs to be done around the house, isn't there? And it's handy to have someone to do it. But I don't know, the companionship bit freaks me out a bit. Like someone's forced to sit and watch TV with me, or
I suppose you would work that out between you, wouldn't you? What you were comfortable with. I can't see you doing this, Carol. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No. I mean, it's funny that. I mean, there's handy and there's handy, isn't there? I mean, you know, if Mark wasn't there, for instance, I'd be very happy on my own. I wouldn't need company. I don't need company most of the time. But I would like to have someone who just did the jobs, because there's always, like you say, there's always something to do. There's handles falling off. There's shelves need putting up. There's drains need unblocking. There's stuff in the garden to do. There's so much stuff. And I would love to just have that, but it would be like, right, can you just do that, but don't talk to me? That kind of thing.
Okay.
I wouldn't really
Is
say
that what you do to Mark?
You wouldn't want a relationship.
No. We share the chores.
I think it is whether you like having people around you. You're kind of happier on your own. Do you like having people
I'm not
around?
happy on my own.
If Mark wasn't the option.
Wasn't there.
Oh, right.
I
no,
would
sorry.
be perfectly happy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Laughing, Mark.
Sorry, Mark.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, Mark.
What are you saying?
Mark.
I would overcompensate because I think I'd feel like I was the host, so I'd have to look after them a bit. I don't know whether I could relieve myself from thinking of them as a lodger, especially if they're unblocking the sink for me. So I feel like I'd end up going, thank you. Oh, it's not quite how I would have wanted it done, but I can't say anything because they're paying half rent, and I think it gets a bit messy because there is a bit of money involved. They're paying half your rent or mortgage, and you're asking them to do. How many jobs can you give them for that? I mean,
Yeah.
You'd have to get references,
you can't
wouldn't you?
ask them to
I
build a
think-
conservatory.
I can
Get
completely
proof.
imagine you in that situation, like they're unblocking the sink and so they're just like, do you want to come with me?
Yeah,
Do you want to come with me?
In fact, you've
I
done
think where there's
very
money
good.
involved, I think I would find it tricky. But funny
Yeah.
enough, I've kind of been in this situation in that when the kids were small, a friend of ours came to stay. Well, he wasn't a friend actually when he came to stay. I barely knew him. But we had spare room. He needed somewhere to stay. He was brilliant around the house, the garden or whatever. And, you know, he became like the dearest family friend. He was with us for 8 years. The kids adore him.
Sounds
We adore him. I don't know whether he can't stand us or whatever. But and I cried like a baby when he left.
Oh.
I really, really missed him.
Oh,
So
so
you
you
both
family
got
then.
something out of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it was
suppose
lovely. It was really lovely. He used to come to the garden centre with me. Ian would never come to the garden centre with
He was
me.
like,
Why?
was he your carer?
I mean, it is a win-win. And with the energy crisis, this could be like a solution.
Yeah.
Exactly. He did call me Nana, right enough. I should have picked up on
Told
that.
you I didn't come up with
I
it.
should. We are chatting to Doc Martin star Joe Absalom after the break. But first, let's step back in time 30-odd years to his first ever TV appearance.
Oh, what? Our son, Pat, is a bit nifty with a bat. With 93% peanuts, he
Oh, Joe, happy memories?
Yes, yeah. That was good fun. They put tape behind my ears to make them stick out. I mean, a lot of
You
peanut
look
butter.
cute as a button. We are back with more from Joe right after this. Welcome back. We are chatting to Joe Absalom in just a minute, but before the break, we showed Joe's first TV appearance. He looked so cute, didn't he? He really did.
Like a proper Midland.
But it got us reminiscing about our own telly debuts, didn't it, Carol? And you were
Did it?
sharing yours.
No, you share yours first.
No.
I don't want to.
So, picture the scene, 22.
Well, I was 22 years old. My first appearance on television. Yeah, 23 maybe. And I was in a wine bar in London. And I might have had a few wines.
You?
Yeah.
No.
And it was next door to a hotel that was very, very popular with the royals. And there was a royal person in there. I don't know who it was. So there were loads of news crews outside. And me and my friends were in the wine bar. And we went outside and said, oh, what's going on there? What's going on there? So we just thought, oh, let's get on telly. So the only way to get on telly really was to go in front of the camera and do something, outrageous. So, I drew the short straw. I volunteered. In fact, they couldn't stop me. Going straight in front of the camera. And I just showed my bum to the camera.
You flashed.
And it went out on the news. My bum was on the news. That's like a Freddie Starr front page, isn't it?
Your parents must have been so proud.
My TV career started on the news.
I'm so glad
My
you want to
bare
share
bottom.
that story with the world.
Well, it was a long time ago, and I was very young. I mean, I grew out of it. No, I
you?
didn't actually. No, because I did it at an awards do as well.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness. I remember that night.
You
I
were
remember
there.
that night big time.
Yeah.
It's annoying that we can't track that down though, because it was so long ago
know.
and
Thank
it was
God
live.
you can't. I've done worse.
How old were
Trust me.
you when you were first on telly?
So I was 12 when I was in Club Junior, so that was like the first time. I'd kind of done a couple of little bits on, like on SMTV, they used to have like cheerleaders. There I am with Calvin. I was more like 15
you.
there. I've got similar hair again.
By the way,
so,
can I just say,
not
lots
long
of people are
seen
getting in
Calvin.
touch about your hair. They love your hair. They
Ah,
love your hair.
thanks. Although now seeing that picture, I'm like, oh God, I've just gone back in time.
If only. If only we could do that.
I know. But I saw Calvin for the first time, in 10 years while I was away recently. And it's so funny. Look how awkward we both looked there. He was equally unimpressed to have his picture taken with me there as well.
Oh, God, there you go.
I know, yeah.
Cute. Right, it's competition time. Your chance to be mortgage or rent free for a whole year. Here's Kate Lawler with all the details.
Hello and welcome to the Crooked House in Windsor. I am here to tell you about an amazing prize that could see you straighten out your mortgage. See what I did there? No matter what kind of house you live in or where in the UK, if you have a mortgage or rent to pay, we'll cover it for a year up to the value of £18,000. It's not just the mortgage or rent we'll pay, but your water, gas and electricity bills too. We'll
pay those for 12 months up to the value of £6,000. Pretty nice, right? And on top of all that, because we really want to take the stress out of the next year, we're going to give you £60,000 in tax-free cash to spend on whatever you want.
All right, quick recap. That's £60,000 in totally tax-free cash. Your mortgage or rent paid for and your bills covered. Bosh! An amazing prize. I don't want you to miss out on it, so what are you waiting for? Pick up the phone and get those entries in. Good luck.
For your chance to win, text WIN to 86060. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website. Entries cost £2. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY35, PO Box 7558, Derby, DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 23rd of September at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Joe Absalom hit our screens back in 1997 as troubled teen Matthew Rose in EastEnders. And since 2004, he's played a very different character, lovable Al in Doc Martin. With the drama set to come to an end with its new series, which starts next week, let's rewind to Joe's first scenes on the show.
It's Greg for Elaine.
Who left the door open? Get out! Who's this sodding dog?
Tell him you saw me and Barry kissing.
Elaine!
Mouth open with tongues.
Water damage. Now, that's a beast all on its own. Right, hold that and shut up! You, get off the telephone and find the stopcock.
Here to tell us more about the final series, welcome to the show, Joe Absalom.
All right. All right.
Good?
Yeah. Happy?
All good. That's come back to 2004, the first...
That one you just showed, yeah, was 2004, yeah.
Wow.
That was, yeah, we just we didn't really know it was going to be a sort of long show. We just thought we'll do this and see what happens.
Yeah, it's been nearly 20 years of your life.
18 years, yeah. I had no children, more hair.
Were you sad ending it?
Do you know what? It was like grief. The week after, I felt really sad. If I thought about it, I would almost get a little bit teary, you know what I mean? Because some of the people we've worked with for 18 years, you know, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And we've all had family, we've all had kids, there's been
gone through it all together.
Yeah, we've lost people, we've lost...
No kids when you started it, and now you've got...
No children, yeah, those are the good old days.
17-year-old days.
BC, before children. The good days. No, I'm joking, the kids are wonderful. But yeah, so we had no children, but then like some of the other actors and guys had no kids, and now they've got, like, Jess has got 2 boys, you know, and I see them we've seen each other's families every 18 months, so you're not in each other's faces all the time, but it's enough time to sort of remember who they are and see them grow, you know.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time, but it's been good.
And you're now going to be on stage, aren't you? In a new show.
Yes, I thought
you're
it'd
on
be
it,
good to
aren't
do.
you, now?
Yeah, we've done 3 shows. So we've done 3 shows. We're at Windsor this week and next week. And that's a very different beast doing stage work, so I've had to learn quite...
And it's the Shawshank Redemption, which is quite a heavy piece.
Did you know the film? Did you know the film before you did it?
I knew of it. I thought there was a line in it about a box of chocolates, and I was like, I'm looking forward to that line.
Boris Johnson.
That's not that film. So I was like, where's that line? But then I read the script and I liked it, and then we turned up for like rehearsals, because I haven't done any stage work for like 10 years, and I've only ever done 1 play, so...
Oh, really?
I just thought I'd see what it's like to do it, because I remember the nerves. The nerves were something, you know, if you want to feel like you're alive, then do something like that. And now I'm regretting it instantly. I really enjoyed it. We did 2 shows like yesterday. It was really good.
How did it go? All right.
Yeah, the thing is, when you film something, you put a lot of effort into that one almost day, you know what I mean? Half a day you do that scene, you know, you do it, and you've got to cry, you've got to shout, whatever. You put a lot of effort in. And then the minute they say cut, you sort of forget it. Yes. It goes out your head. So if they have to do reshoots, you have to relearn it. And it's really weird how you sort of forget everything. So yesterday we did the matinee, and I was like, yes, we did it. And then they go, right, okay, you've got to come back in 2 hours. You're like, I just did it. No, you've got to do it again.
Tell them how many pages of script you had to learn for that play.
Well, I think there's 90 in the thing.
90,
Yeah.
90.
But that's not all me talking.
No, but that's
it's other
90
people.
pages in every performance, right?
Yeah.
And then, so when you were doing Doc Martin, you do like 4 pages, right, or something like that.
A day, yeah. So you might film 3 pages of dialogue.
So that's graft, then, isn't it? Really?
Proper graft,
yeah.
Did you feel the stress of having to do a show about it. The film's massive, isn't it? There's like a pressure there, surely.
There is.
Not
Thank
to make you feel
Thank
worse.
Thank you. There is a lot of effort. Not effort, but there's a lot of responsibility to do it. But I think the script is good enough as long as our version of it's really good. I think I'm really
You do
proud of
look
it.
like a young Tim Robbins, actually.
Yeah, I was
Anybody
thinking
else
that,
that-
actually.
yeah.
I don't know. No one's ever said that. I'm not sure that's a good thing.
Well, there's
It's a great thing.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's only a compliment. Look at the guy.
Yeah.
He's cute. He's great. He's
Yeah.
very, very talented.
That's the real film there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a look of the character, isn't there? You know, sort of
yes.
young professional who was sort of wrongly convicted and all
Yeah.
that.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
I like.
So, are you still living in Cornwall then? Because you moved to Cornwall because of Doc Martin, didn't you?
Yeah, basically, we would spend 4 months in Cornwall filming, and then we'd go back to South East London, and then we did that a few times, and we sort of realised that we kind of preferred it in Cornwall. So we didn't actually move to Cornwall if you just move to a new area and you turn up and say hi, I'm new in the area, it's quite hard. But because we sort of made friends in Cornwall while we were filming in the village, really nice people, and then we'd go back to London, and we just thought after a while we quite like being near the sea, you know. So we thought, let's go for it.
Right.
And that was 8 years ago.
Did they all welcome you, the Cornwall people? Because they say now that they don't really like Londoners moving down there because they inflate the house prices or something.
Well, that's true of anywhere, isn't it? And don't forget, a lot of people have Cornish people have sold those houses. So, but most people we know are not from Cornwall. To be fair, but I think it's like any
Who live
rural
there,
community.
Yeah.
It's just people move in, people move out. But
They probably love that the show was filmed there as well, though, I suppose.
Yeah.
people
You're
in
kind of
Boise
a
go
part of-
fantastic. We've had such a good relationship with the people in the village, and we're really grateful because they've been fantastic. So we will miss them.
Completely different life as well, though, isn't it? It's like, what you do after work and what you do, what
Yeah.
your kids do after school. Like,
We go to the beach a lot.
Go to the beach and-
a lot. Go in the sea. I really like jumping in the sea. I'm not a swimmer. I just sort of bob around and then
and your
bob
daughter,
around and then get
Your
out.
daughter surfs, though, doesn't she? Or she
yeah.
likes surfing.
She's like surfers.
So it's
So,
Slight difference.
Yeah. But I mean, it's good. It's good for our kids. It's good for our world.
Yeah. But you've got one following in your footsteps, I think.
My son Casper, he keeps saying to me, Dad, can you get me on Stranger Things? Dad,
Stranger Things.
I'm like, why have you even watched it? Because you're 11.
Yeah.
That's another issue. But yeah, he wants to be, and he just played Bugsy in Bugsy Malone with his drama called Star
great.
Makers. They put on a really good show, and he did a New York accent and everything. But he would never do it at the house. He went, I'm not going to do it now. And then we went to see the show, and he did it. He was brilliant.
Would you like him to follow in your footsteps?
No.
Okay.
Get a job, have an office, have a Christmas party. A Christmas party for a self-employed actor is basically me sitting in Pizza Express having turkey and cranberry pizza.
Well,
getting the receipt.
He'll make his way.
So, I just wanted to sort of have.
Well, listen, Joe, best of luck with the play, The Shawshank
Thank you,
Redemption, and of course the final season of Doc Martin. A lot of people will be very sad about that. That's all we've got time for today. Next week we've got a bumper lineup of guests, including Julia Bradbury, Kelsey Parker, and Amelia Fox. And of course, you, our wonderful studio audience, is back on Monday too. We're really excited about that. Can't wait to have you all back here with us. Have a fabulous weekend.